The night the moon went on strike over Boloberi, a woman sat before a cracked mirror and heard a voice that was not in the room. Bring her. Her hands shook. Her lipstick drew a red road across her cheek like blood. Outside, dogs barked like alarms. Inside, the fan coughed and died, and still the voice came, soft and cold, like rain outside a grave. By the day, Ngozi Mbok made woman pretty. Her small saloon buzzed, combs clinked, her dryers hissed, posters of shiny ladies smiled down like queens. She tied wrappers tight and greeted customers with a laugh that sounded rich, even when her stomach was empty. By night, sleep did not love her. She saw faces. She heard a girl whisper, "Auntie, why?" She woke wet with sweat, heart beating like a talking drum. She washed her hands again and again, but the air still smelled like iron and bleach. The smell followed her like a stubborn shadow. Bills sat on her table like a small mountain. Rent, light, and loans. Her landlord shouted every week, "Ngozi, 2 days more, I will lock your door." She smiled, but inside, she was drowning. That was the day Madame Velvet walked into her life. The woman arrived with perfume that reached the room before her feet. Dark glasses, red lips, calm smile. She sat without asking and looked around the saloon like a queen counting her gold. "Good afternoon," Ngozi said. "Wave or wig?" "Money," Madame Velvet said. "Do you want it?" Ngozi tried to laugh. It came out small. Who does not want money? Madame Velvet removed her glasses. Her eyes were cool, like deep water with no fish. "We run medical exports," she said. "You bring people who want a new life. We take care of the rest. You will be paid. Your problems will kneel down." Ngozi blinked. "Drugs?" Madame Velvet leaned closer. Her voice was soft, like a snake moving through dry leaves. "Not drugs, my sister. Bodies, parts, kidneys, livers, hearts, eyes, clean hands, quiet rooms. No stories. You recruit, we do the hospital work, you eat." The comb fell from Ngozi's hand. Her apprentice, Little Biba, made the sign of the cross and pretended not to hear. "I am not a killer," Ngozi said, but the bills on the table stood up like soldiers and stared at her. Madame Velvet slid a glossy card across the table. "Lost Body Clinic, Skin, Shape, and Smile. Douala, Yowande, Bamanda, Abuja." Madame Velvet said, "Winking woman come for BBL. Nose job, waist, they sleep, we choose. They wake and think it is normal surgery pain. Some are fine, some are not. Useful. A kidney is a car. A liver is 2 houses. Your debt becomes small dust." Light went out. The fan stopped. Heat rushed in. The street hawker shouted. Somewhere, a generator groaned like an old cow. Inside, only the cat shone. Ngozi looked at her mirror. She saw her face. She also saw the faces that chased her in dreams. She swallowed hard. "When do we start?" she whispered. Madame Velvet smiled. "Tonight." The first night was in a back building where signs go to hide. No welcome board, no nurse with sweet smile, just a narrow hall that smelled of soap and fear. A small machine hummed. A clock ticked like a hammer. "Welcome," said Dr. Kolo, a short man in a white coat with eyes like sharp stones. "You recruit, we cut. You earn, no noise." Ngozi nodded, but her knees were soft like melted sugar. They passed a pink poster that said, "New body, new life." A pretty nurse adjusted white shirt. "Ngozi, this is Nurse Mimi," Madame Velvet said. She books the beauty girls. Music burst from a speaker. Afrobeat sweet and loud. Then a girl swung in, hips like a swinging bell. long lashes, long nails, phone glittering in her hands. Auntie Mimi, I'm ready, she sang. Nkechi, the slave queen, make me fine, die, let Lagos cry. Sign here, Nurse Mimi said. Nkechi signed like a paper signing sheet. Where is my before and after? She posed, she kissed the air, she giggled. Summer body must choke. Dr. Kole watched without a smile. Sweet dreams, he said, and they rolled her away. The door signed as it closed. Ngozi whispered, do you take from her? Sometimes only fat, Madam Velvet said, eyes flat. Sometimes more. Depends on the market. Depends on the blood. The cold in the room did not come from any machine. It came from the wall. After that, days ran like goats on a free road. War came again. One hot afternoon at Douala Motor Park, Silva sat on a cement block, crying quietly. She hugged a torn nylon bag. Dust sat on her skin. Her feet were swollen like bread. My child, Ngozi said, kneeling, why are you crying? I came from Enugu. She sniffed. A man said there is a job in Abuja. He blocked me. My mother is sick. I have no food. I have no place. Ngozi felt her heart pinch, but the pinch was small compared to the pool of money. She held Sylvia's hand. They were small and warm. Listen, my daughter, she said in a sweet voice she had learned to wear like perfume. I know people. A clinic. They need a receptionist, uniform, small room, steady food. You will send money home. You will be fine. Sylvia looked up like a plant turning to the sun. God bless you, auntie. I will work hard. I swear, I will never disappoint you. Trust me. Ngozi bought her bread and coke. She laughed with her. She prayed with her. She walked her to a car. That night, Sylvia slept in a clean bed for the first time in weeks. In the morning, somebody put a paper in front of her. Sign. She signed. By evening, lights were bright. The room was cold. A mask came down. Is the job inside there? Sylvia asked, smiling with thought that could break a stone. Yes, Nurse Mimi said, not smiling at all. The door closed. The clock ticked. A voice from far away screamed once and went quiet. Ngozi stood in a hallway and pressed her hands to her ears. She still had it. Later, an envelope found her palm. It was heavy. It felt like a small brick. Dr. Kolo said, good work. Madam Velvet said, see? Your problems are learning manners. Ngozi walked home with the envelope pressed to her chest. She closed her door and poured the money on the table. It looked like falling leaves. She should have danced. She did not. She washed her hands until the skin cried. She still smelled iron. More stories flowed into her neck, each with a different face. The same hunger. Petite Max, a street boy who juggled oranges at traffic lights. He wanted to buy a bicycle. Ngozi gave him jollof and a new t-shirt. He called her auntie with gold hat. He vanished like a smoke. Mama Rose, a widow with a cough and 3 children. She needed small money for school fees. Ngozi promised a cleaner job at the clinic. Mama Rose said, God sent you. God said nothing. Nkechi returned weeks after her big surgery, walking slow, holding her side phone still shining. Hey, Auntie Mimi, she winced. Is it normal to feel so empty here? Nurse Mimi smiled with only half her mouth. Beauty has a price. Nkechi posted pictures with filters and fire emojis. Comments rained down. Body, backside, slay, oh my goodness. In the mirror, her eyes looked tired, like someone had turned off a light behind them. Girls came, boys came, Paul came, Gen Z came. They came signing. Some left whispering. Some did not leave at all. The clinic's music stayed loud. The perfume stayed sweet. The secret stayed sour. Every night, Ngozi said, "This is the last." Every morning, the envelope said, "Do one more." One evening, Biba, the apprentice, found Ngozi kneeling in the empty saloon, hands shaking, eyes wet. "Auntie, are you okay?" "I am fine," Ngozi said, but her voice was broken clear. Biba picked a wig from the floor. "Why do you wash your hands so much?" Ngozi looked at her palms. They were pink and thin. "Because they are not clean," she whispered. She went to church on Sunday and cried in the third row. The choir sang, "Mercy, Lord." The pastor said, "Your sin can be washed." Ngozi stared at the floor and thought, with what water? That night, the moon still refused to shine. The dog still barked. The fan tried and failed. Ngozi sat before her mirror. The voice in her head spoke again. "Bring another." She closed her eyes and saw Sylvia smiling. She had a screen that had no mouth. She smelled iron and perfume. She opened her eyes and spoke to her empty room. "I will stop. Tomorrow, I will stop." But fools know how to ring at the worst times. Madam Velvet's name flashed. "Pick." Biba whispered from the doorway. Ngozi picked. Two bookings. Madam Velvet said, "One rich, one poor. River must keep moving." Ngozi's mouth was dry. "Names?" Madam Velvet laughed, low and warm. "Names are not heavy. Money is heavy. See you in the morning." The line died. Ngozi looked at her mirror. Her face looked like someone else's face wearing her face. She set the phone down. She stood. She reached for her wrapper. Outside, a motorbike roared past like thunder trapped in a scan. She whispered to no one, to everyone, to God, to ghosts, "Forgive me." And she stepped into the night. The cock crowed at dawn, but Ngozi did not rise. She lay staring at the ceiling, hearing voices that were not in the room. Sylvia's voice, Nkechi's voice, even Petit Mark's laughter. They swirled around her like flies in a market. Biba knocked gently. "Auntie, customers are waiting." "I am not well," Ngozi whispered. But in the truth, she was not sick. She was haunted. Money flowed into her life like a flood. The saloon grew bigger. She bought new mirrors, new dryers, wigs that shone like the sun. Her neighbors clapped for her success. "Madam Ngozi, you are blessed too. You are a very strong woman." She smiled, but her smiles cracked at night. At night, she saw the metal table. She saw blood splashing like palm wine. She smelled bleach that could not wash away the screams. She prayed. She fasted. She poured oil on her doorpost. But the ghost sat at her bedside and whispered, "Auntie, why?" Still, she could not stop. The river of money was too deep. Madam Velvet's eyes too sharp. Dr. Kolo's gloves too bloody. At Love's Body Clinic, more girls came. Some poor, some rich, some lost. One was Blessing, a Gen Z campus girl from Yoando, who wanted an influencer body. She posted daily, "Watch me glow, summer body loading." When Ngozi lured her in, Blessing told her, "Auntie, I don't want to just to be fine. I want to trend. Boys should faint when I pass. My ex should cry. My enemies should die." She laughed with pride and walked into the surgery room like a queen entering her palace. She did not walk out again. Another was Favor, a jobless graduate who thought she was signing for modeling work. When Nurse Mimi asked her to lie down, she asked, "Will I get my ID card after this?" "Yes," Mimi lied. By morning, Favor's kidney was in a box headed to Europe. Ngozi soon learned the dirtiest part of the game, the plastic surgery trap. Girls saved millions for BBL, breast lift, face cupping. They came smiling, dreaming of new bodies. Some walked out groaning with real surgeries, but others did not. One day, Ngozi stood in a hall and watched as a rich lady, Madam Stella, prepared for liposuction. She laughed loudly, telling her friends, "After this, my husband will not look outside ever again. This my body will tie him down." They rolled her inside. Hours later, Stella's body was rolled out in a black bag. Her husband never knew she had paid with her liver. Ngozi whispered to Madam Velvet, but she was rich. Madam Velvet smiled, was thin. Organs do not care about status. A body is a body. The work spread like a spider web. Doctors in a white coat, nurses with cold hands, policemen who guarded the gates, airport officers who push buses through scanners without blinking. Ngozi once watched a bus filled with eyes and organs get lifted onto a van at Douala International. The officer smiled at Dr. Kolo, pocketing a tin envelope. "Safe journey," he said, patting the bus like it was a goat going to market. Ngozi's stomach turned. She whispered, "What if they open it?" Madam Velvet laughed. Money is the best passport. Money is the best visa. Trouble came the day a black jeep parked at Locke's Body Clinic. Out stepped a girl with pride, sharp as a knife. Her name was Zara Obi. She wore red heels, carried a glittering phone, and walked like the whole world belongs to her. "I want a BBL," she said, snapping her fingers. "Today, not tomorrow. In fact, now, not next hour, not just a week, now." Nurse Mimi hesitated. "We are fully booked." "Shut up," Zara said. "Do you know who I am? My father is Dr. Obi. He owns half the hospital in this country. If I call him now, he will buy this building and sack you all. So get me a bed." Even Madam Velvet froze. She smiled nervously. "Ah, Princess Zara, forgive us. We didn't know. We are honored. Please, this way." Zara rolled her eyes. "Hurry, I have a party in Abuja next week. My body must shut down Instagram." She signed the forms without reading. She laughed loudly. She called her friends on video chat, bragging, "See me, oh, I am going to come out new, like Kylie Jenner. Abuja, get ready." Then Nurse Mimi slid the mask over her face. Zara giggled. "Don't mess up my nose." I was it. Easy now. Before slipping into sleep, Ngozi stood frozen, her throat dry. Should we touch her? Touch who? We are not supposed to touch this one, oh, remember. She is Dr. Obi's child. She whispered to Velvet. Velvet's eyes glammed. Why not? Even Princess blood flows red. The market is hungry. Remember the words. Ngozi's chest stormed like a thunder. Her father would never know, Velvet said, waving her hands. He is the river that feeds us. Why should the river drink itself? Ngozi turned away, but her ears caught Zara's voice, faint in her sleep. Daddy, Daddy. It caught her heart like a blade. That same night, in a high-rising office in Abuja, Dr. Obi sat behind a glass desk. He was the godfather of the entire ring, the mastermind, the man whose network of hospitals in Yaoundé, Douala, Abuja, and Bamenda gave cover to the bloody trade. He opened his laptop. Files glowed on the screen. He checked numbers, shipments, clients abroad. He scrolling through the harvest log, and then he froze. Zara Obi, procedure, BBL, cover, status harvest complete, organ removed, left kidney. Who did it? Dr. Kolo, supervised by Velvet. For the first time in 20 years, Dr. Obi's chest went hollow. His coffee cup slipped, splashing across the white floor like blood. He stared, shaking. My daughter, Jesus, my daughter. He slammed the desk, roaring like a lion. Who touched my daughter? How dare them? By morning, chaos spread. Dr. Obi stormed into Lost Body Clinic with 10 bodyguards. His eyes were red. His voice thunder. Where is Velvet? Where is Kolo? Who touched Zara? Nurses scattered like chickens. Patients screamed. Gas blocked doors. Madam Velvet appeared, calm but pale. Sir, please. He slapped her so hard she crashed into a chair. You have versed strangers, not my blood. Dr. Kolo stammering. It was a mistake. Obi grabbed him by the coat. A mistake, you said? You caught my daughter like any street girl? Kolo choked. She signed. She signed the form. We thought. You thought what? Obi roared, throwing him to the ground. Gas poured. Kolo's nose broke and blood painted the towels. Ngozi hid in the corner, trembling. She saw the empire cracking. She saw the river boiling red. Zara lay in a recovery room, pale and weak, tubes in her arms. She whispered for her father. He rushed to her, held her hand, and wept for the first time in his entire life. I built this empire just for you people to be okay. He sobbed, but it has eaten my own house. A nurse recorded the chorus on her phone. By nightfall, whispers spread in Douala, Yowando, and Abuja. Rich men are cutting organs. Girls are missing. Police arrived pretending to investigate, but Dr. Obi's power was too heavy. Files vanished. Witnesses disappeared. Still, the whispers refused to die. Mothers began locking their daughters indoors. Fathers warned their sons. Churches cried out in fear. Ngozi ran home and locked herself inside. She knelt before her mirror, wailing, God, forgive me. I wanted only to survive. Oh, I did not know the river would swallow me too. But she did know. She had always known. In the weeks that followed, the clinics continued quietly, but Zara's case left a crack in the empire. Dr. Obi became a ghost in his own house. Madam Velvet vanished. Dr. Kolo was found floating in a river. And Ngozi, she shut her salon. At midnight, she still had voices. Sylvia, Nkechi, Favor, now Zara too. She whispered to herself, not every clinic heals. Not every smile is kind. Not every handbag carries powder. Some handbags carry death. And she wrote her story on scraps of paper, hoping someone would read and save the next girl. What are the morals of this story? Let's talk about it. A river fed by blood will one day drink from its own well. Greed built houses, but sooner or later, blood will knock on the door. A hungry river will carry even the woman who came to fetch water. Greed can buy a wig, but blood will always find the mirror. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this story. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure you follow us and subscribe while we bring more interesting lesson-packed stories ahead. See you. Cheers. Please make sure you share, comment, and like. God bless you. Please subscribe to our channel. Bye.